Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first inaugural Facebook Live through Google Meets with Pacific West District DoDEA. My name is Jeff Arrington, Superintendent of Pacific West, and we brought our school and district leaders together to provide some exciting news, which you probably already know about, but to give a little bit of information about returning to in-person learning in Korea in Pacific West. Want to make sure some may be joining us from Guam, which is part of Pacific West, but the school's in Korea going to in-person learning. So thank you for joining us. This is kind of unique. We are doing a Google Meet through Facebook Live. Want to take a second to introduce everybody here. We're going to talk to you a little bit about the measures and safety and mitigation we have going on so that you feel safe returning, a little bit about what you can expect in further communication at your schools, and then just ready to answer some questions and roll forward. So again, Jeff Arrington, Superintendent, Pacific West District DoDEA.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Bailey, and I'm the Community Superintendent for Pacific West.
Yes, good evening. I'm Joel Grimm, PAC West Chief of Staff, and very excited about students returning on October 5th.
Good evening, Al Gray, Principal, Daegu Middle High School.
Good evening, Kyung-Bi, Daegu Middle High School Assistant Principal.
Good evening, I'm Shanae Wiley, the Principal of Daegu Elementary School.
Good evening, my name is Tiffany Bryant, Principal at Humphreys Central Elementary School.
Good evening, my name is Elise Struess. I am the Principal at Humphreys West Elementary School.
Good evening, my name is Willard Kleitz, and I am the new Assistant Principal at Humphreys West Elementary School.
Good evening, I'm Tiffany Well, the Principal at Humphreys Middle School.
Hello, I'm Teresa Hahn, one of the Assistant Principals at Humphreys Middle School.
Hello, I'm Stacey Lamoureux, and I'm another Assistant Principal at Humphreys Middle School.
Hi, I'm Mandy Schwartz-Johnson. I'm the Assistant Principal at Humphreys High School.
Good evening, my name is Hannah Choi. I'm the Principal at Osan Elementary School.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ware, the Assistant Principal at Osan Elementary School.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Wanda Bradley. I'm the Principal of Osan Middle High School.
Good afternoon, everyone. Edgar Romero, Assistant Principal, home of the Cougars, Osan Middle High.
Okay, so we're putting a presentation up from PowerPoint while it's coming up, hopefully soon. We're going to give you a little bit of information about what kind of measures, mitigation, and safety that we have in place. We've come together today as a district here in Korea, the Korea portion of our district, because we've received feedback, and we want you to know that we've been listening to communication. I think it feels sometimes like our communities that when we host a Facebook Live or we're in a specific location like at Humphreys or Osan or Daegu, that it's specific to just that location, where maybe we are sharing the information, wanting to share it to everybody, but it feels like that community. So we wanted to come together as a different kind of community tonight, as a DoDEA community, a Pacific West Korea community. And so that's why we're here with all the leaders from the schools and the district and sharing information. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, we've moved to the slide. Thank you. I think we have it up and showing now. And I'm going to ask Community Superintendent here in Korea, Dr. Helen Bailey, to talk a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, was it Mr. Grimm?
Mr. Grimm.
I'm sorry. Chief of Staff, Mr. Grimm, taking this slide, and then Dr. Bailey. Mr. Grimm.
So, good evening. And I'm going to talk with you a little bit about social distancing and face masks. And I know all of you over the past few months have heard a lot about the importance of wearing face mask. It blocks those respiratory droplets caused by speaking, coughing, and sneezing. And we are going to have that expectation that children are also going to be, and our staff will be wearing face coverings in our schools. It definitely slows the spread of the COVID-19. And our buses. When students get on our buses, they should also be having their mask on each and every day throughout that entire ride to protect others while they're riding to school and also coming home each day. And social distancing is important. We all know that as well. And so we're going to do our best to social distance students throughout the day in our classrooms. As kids are walking down the hallway to the greatest extent possible. And whenever we can't do that, those masks need to be on. And then lastly, I just want to mention, we have made a significant investment in our district regarding barriers. As you can see up in the right-hand corner, there's an example of some plastic barriers. We have bought we bought individual barriers for every student in this district, so they can move those from one class to another if they need to. We have bought barriers for the cafeteria, and we have barriers for our libraries, computer labs where we have the static computers. And then lastly, you might see in the commissary, we have the plastic barriers that are hanging down in our office areas in front of our cashier in the lunchroom. So those are some things I wanted to mention that I think are going to make our schools a safer place. And if you have any additional questions, send those in and I'll be glad to answer. Thank you.
All right, and so I put my mask on because even though we are more than 6 feet apart around this table here, I'm just kind of modeling and setting that example. But just to reinforce with the mask so that, parents are aware both when they send their kid or when they see other kids, that when students are moving or we can't maintain the social distancing like we are here, the students need to have their masks on. So there will be times that students won't have their masks on when we can have that maximum social distancing that we need, and we still have our barriers up that we have during that time. But if that can't be maintained, they will have their mask. But for any of our required visitors, and we kind of say required visitors because we know what a difference it makes when we have adults in the school supporting our children. But during this time with COVID, with contact tracing, with spread prevention, those kind of things, we're gonna really have to minimize to required visitors. But when we do have required visitors that will be coming in, they will need to wear their mask the entire time. So I know that you hit the points, but I wanted to reiterate, Mr. Grimm, thank you.
Thank you.
And then we switch to this next slide. Dr. Bailey.
Yes, it's very important for us to have healthy hygiene as we return to school. So what that includes is frequent hand washing. So sing the happy birthday song all the way through. Sing it twice if you need, and clean between use soap and water, and clean between your fingers, the backs of your hands, your wrists, and the inside of your hand. Also, when you are unable to go to the restroom and go in and wash your hands after the playground, you can also use hand sanitizer. There will be hand sanitizer in all schools in the common areas. So please make sure that you're using hand sanitizer as often as possible, and keep your hands off of your face, and practice coughing and sneezing etiquette. So for the kids, if you have to do the dab when you're coughing and sneezing, okay, and that is coughing and sneezing etiquette. Additionally, disinfecting the areas that where you're sitting is very important. Disinfecting the barriers when you're coming in or going out of class, any supplies that you're using. Please make sure that you are wiping those with the sanitizing wipes, which will be in every classroom as well as in the cafeterias and in the common areas. In all of our schools, we have signage that will indicate where our students and staff should stand as far as the 6 feet distancing and the direction in which the flow of traffic should go. So please make sure that we're following the hygiene procedures, the cleaning procedures, and the directional signage in the schools.
And just to clarify, because I saw some faces there, I know that some of our schools are working towards the specificity of signage that Dr. Bailey just mentioned. Not all of our schools have all of those things in there, but I think it's important to mention that they have signs that continue to reinforce that there should be maximum social distancing. I saw some of the administrators, I know they're working towards more signage as we go, but the facial expression was like, oh my goodness, I don't have that level yet of that direction in signage. But the important thing is we have signs up that continue to reinforce to have social distancing, to keep apart, keep your mask on, sanitize your hands, all those kind of things throughout our schools. All right, so what I've asked now our administrators to do, and just so you're kind of aware what they're going to be saying, is by school, they're going to share with you something that they really want you to know about the return to in-person learning coming up on the 5th of October. And then they're going to give you a little bit of information about where communication at the school-specific level will be coming from. Each of them are preparing a letter to go out to you as your school community. But in addition to that letter, they're going to share where to get more information as we move forward. So we're going to start here around the table with Ms. Shanae Wiley from Daegu Elementary School.
Hello, Dragon leaders and parents. I want to say that as we prepare to come back to school, our number one priority, of course, is safety. And we are focused on making sure our school is properly prepared to receive the children. Our teachers are working hard in preparing those lessons for next week so that they can get into the classroom to set them up and have them ready for the children to come in. But we're also not just looking at the safety as the classroom is set up, but we're also looking at the whole child. We want to make sure we're taking the time to prepare for building those relationships again with our children. We want to make sure we have the whole mindset of the child in focus too. So don't forget that we have a school psychologist. We have our counselor, Mr. Fletcher, our school psychologist, Mr. Zendejas. If you see that your child is not comfortable, or he or she is not sleeping well, or is not comfortable yet with coming back to school, let us know those things beforehand, because we've been out of school technically since February, and we want to make sure that we're transitioning properly for your child. And we have that newsletter that comes out every other week for our support for our students and for our families. So make sure you're communicating that to us, because we are a community and we are a family. So we want to make sure we're taking care of each other. As we're preparing to come back, I will be sending some information out through our Aspen emails. We will be sending information on Facebook. We will also post things on our webpage. And I believe Mr. Grade and I have some opportunities to do another Facebook Live. And whatever you need, you can call up to the school. We will answer questions. And I know one of the big questions was, will we still have the drop-off of the supplies? And yes, we are coordinating now through our SLO to have volunteers to come in on October 2nd to do the drop-off of the supplies so that the children don't have to do that on the bus. So thank you, and I'm very excited to have my Dragon leaders back in the building. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kyung Beach, and I'm assistant principal at Daegu Middle High School. I can say, following up with Mr. Wiley, that the Daegu complex schools, we are 99.9% ready to accept the kids back. So for DMHS, we are going to make videos. Monday, we are going to post the videos, information regarding pre-screening process, core tenets, what to bring to school. On Tuesday, we're also going to post another video, the information pertaining to transitioning, lunch process, bus, sanitizing process, barriers in lockers. Also, we're going to remind students to bring filling water bottles. So upon viewing the videos, and if you happen to have questions, please write the questions. If you could send that to me, kyung.beach@dodea.edu. The information will be posted on our school Facebook, and we're going to review the questions, and the responses to your questions will be delivered during Wednesday Facebook Live with Connor Branco. Thank you.
And this is Al Grade, the principal at Daegu Middle High School. I just want to say we're so excited to have the Warrior family back and the Dragon family back here in Daegu. On Friday, Dr. Beach and I are we're gonna really just ring in the school year and do one last little video or talk with everybody about what that first day is going to look like. Make sure we get everybody composed and so everybody can start that first day. Also, I am so excited that we're really going to have high school athletics back. Those will start on October 5th, so we can have the bubble-to-bubble competitions between Osan and Humphreys. At the bigger school, they're going to do tryouts. We're always happy at Daegu if we just have enough for a team. So we're excited that that's going to be happening, athletics, and then if we can get homecoming and everything set up, it's just going to be a nice start having everybody back in. So go Warriors.
All right, we'll keep it short and sweet. We're very, very happy for our students to join us in return. October 5th is our time frame. We will definitely have breakfast ready for you all in the mornings, and then we'll head straight into classes. Things that you will need to know ahead of time can be found on our Facebook site for Humphreys Central Elementary School. Things such as the new Kiss and Drop plan that was put together by our SAC committee. Thank you so much for your hard work. We are in phase 2 of that plan, and you will need to know about it prior to October 5th. So please check our Facebook page, as we've already put out information about our new Kiss and Drop plan. School supplies, you can get that information if needed from your classroom teacher or from our front office. And then the pre-screening form was updated to every single Google Classroom, as well as emailed to all families, and it was posted on Facebook. You will need to have that information prior to day 1. We will also send out our news you can use to help you just kind of keep everything organized, because it's a lot to shuffle around. And all of this information will definitively, everything that you need will be presented and ready for you no later than Thursday. But those 3 items will get you started. Welcome back to school, everybody.
Hello, this is Ms. Drews, principal at Humphreys West Elementary, and just a few things that you might need to know as we come back. You will be able to find information about our school. We will send out emails. You have our HWS Facebook page, the PTSO page. We post it on the website, and then each student in their Google Classroom has a topic that's labeled back to school information. And so as we put out new information, we will put it under that topic, and you'll be able to go on to your child's classroom and be able to access it there as well. Also, we will be having our second open Osprey mic. That will be Friday, September 25th, which is tomorrow, 2:30 to 3 p.m. And the last thing I want to say about Humphreys West, one of the comments that we hear a lot about is computers and turning them back in. While the date that we have posted for parents to drop off computers is next Tuesday through Friday, it does not mean you need to drop them off on Tuesday. So we do have asynchronous learning that will happen on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so you can keep the computers and you can return them at a later time. So we're very excited to have all of our students back, and we look forward to seeing you.
Hi, this is Tiffany Weddle, the principal at Humphreys Middle School. We know that starting a new school year is so exciting, and coming back to the building is just like starting brand new. So we want to help settle the nerves. We're going to be offering an orientation for new students next week. We're going to be sending this information and so much more information to everyone's email. We're also going to be including it in our weekly newsletter and posting it on our Humphreys Middle School Facebook page. So please keep a lookout for a day in the life of a Humphreys Middle School student. We're excited. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm going to reiterate that. At Humphreys High School, we're very excited to welcome the students back into the building. We too will post our information via Facebook and our webpage, and also send out information via emails and our news from the nest. Daegu High School kind of scooped me, and that we're excited for sports to start happening. We too will have our sports seasons start, but we're also really excited because also our student activities are going to start, and we have some new clubs this year that we're excited to offer to the students, and you'll be seeing a student activity directory go out, but some of those clubs are like a book club, a creative writing club, a mock trial club, and STEM club, and there's many more, but those are just a few. And also, Humphreys Middle scooped me too. We're going to offer some campus tours on October 1st and 2nd between 10 and 3 for some of our new students, and definitely our incoming 9th graders. So please look for that information as in the news from the nest and via Facebook. But again, we're real excited. Can't wait. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. LaRonda Ware, the assistant principal at Osan Elementary School. And I just want you to know that here we really care, and all across the day, we really care about the health, safety, and wellness of our whole community. And we know that this is a community endeavor. This is not something that we can do at our schools alone, but that it takes our community to keep our students safe and for us to keep one another safe. And so we want you to know that we have multiple mitigation measures and policies in place, as you've heard many of my colleagues say. There's a wide array of measures in place to make sure that our kids and our staff are safe. And so we want you to be comforted in that. And we look forward to working with you as you make sure that students are coming to school ready to learn, and that we will take care of them while you're here, while they're here.
And good evening, Hannah Choi. I just want to let you know that our teachers have been planning, and we understand because we're coming back for the first time into the school building. We've been planning some transition activities and events, and so we'll have information about the first day, which may look a little different than the other days, subsequent days, but all that information will be shared during our open house next Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon. And then you can also be on the lookout for emails from me, our Facebook page, our web page. As a team, as a community, as a family, we look forward to working with you and your children to make their learning experience memorable for this year so that they can continue to grow. Thank you.
Hello to everyone, especially to Cougars, our Osan Middle High School Cougars. Just first of all, I want to just say thank you. Thank you to the teachers, the parents, the students for working through remote learning, working through the changes that we've gone through at the beginning of the school year. We worked together as a team. We stuck together as a team. And because of that, Osan Middle High School is stronger because of each and every one of you. So thank you. Not to reiterate everything that everyone else has said, because many of those same things we are doing at Osan, but we want to make sure that you understand that safety is first. We want everyone to feel safe. We want everyone to be comfortable. And that is for the students, for the teachers, for the parents also. So we are putting many mitigating factors in place, similar to some of the other schools, to make sure that we are safe. We have all of the cleaning supplies, we have barriers, we have masks, we have stickers for the floors, we have everything going up. We're Mr. Romero and the team, we're working feverishly to make sure that we are ready. Just a couple highlights. On the 30th, we will still have our virtual open house. That more information will be coming out by Friday on the virtual open house. We are also trying to plan a tour for our new students and also for our sixth graders, because our sixth graders never had the opportunity to tour the school or to have their moving up day. So we are trying to plan something. So parents, please stay tuned for that. We are having sports, so we should be sending out something soon regarding sports, and it may be after school starts, but we are going to have sporting teams, and we just have a lot of great things planned. Again, thank you so very much. We're excited. Welcome back to Cougar Country.
Some of the other exciting things, we have the luxury of having the Pacific Student Transition Program being hosted at our school, and our ambassadors are doing our public service announcements that will go out to students. They're student generated, so hopefully they can get on board and follow those mitigations that we have in place already. Hopefully they're listening to themselves. All of this information is going to go on our Facebook, so please keep posted on Facebook. Thank you, family who have come in, all the new families that have come in. Hopefully we've been answering questions. Our phones have been ringing. People have been coming in. We've been transitioning within our own school and getting this school just ready for our Cougars to come in. We are so excited, and go Cougars. We can't wait for you.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody, both our viewers for sharing and for all of our leaders for being here. Let me see if I can get this video to turn a little bit. All right, hopefully it'll come around in just a second. So there we go. So what we want you to know most is that we are excited to have the students back in school, that we have planned for safety first for the students. We have mitigation measures in place. It is still school, which means that still we've got a lot of kids coming together in different classrooms in the building, but together. So it's really important that we have these mitigation measures and safety measures in place. But we're excited to have everyone back. Want to also make sure that we all remember, for our students returning into the school, that some of them have never even been into the schools that they're going into. Even though we're going to be in October, the students have not been in yet. Those who have been in maybe went the last 2 weeks of last year when we came back, but really haven't been back in 6 months or so. So even though we've had the live sessions and we've been doing remote learning, school has been open, we need to take a second and make sure that we help everybody feel comfortable and they understand that we want them there, but they need to follow the safety measures and build those close relationships that our schools do when our students come in. And so that will be part of that transition in, is making sure that we're building those relationships, maintaining safety first, but building relationships, and then moving into the learning that we have prepared and are excited to provide to our students that they deserve. So just want to make sure that we're all aware of that, and to thank everybody for coming out. We didn't have further questions at this time, but we will collect any additional questions and provide answers. Our schools stand ready to give school-specific information. You're going to be hearing a lot from this point forward for your school-specific information. I know that there were some people excited right now to go get something to eat or have something done because, only about 90 minutes ago, we went into Bravo, and of course, that's an exciting thing also. But we felt we needed to take this opportunity to share as much as we could with you right now and tell you that more information is to come. So before I ask my colleagues here in the district office, the district leaders, what they have to finish with, I need to thank a few people. Okay, first of all, Mr. Grade, Ms. Wiley, and Dr. Beach here in Daegu, we have the opportunity again to come to you from Daegu today, which isn't often the case, but we're here in Daegu with everybody else spread across Humphreys and Osan. Thank you for letting us be here today, hosting us and providing us the opportunity. Huge thanks to Ms. Darlene Rozzi and Dr. Legina Roberts-Penpen. You don't see them, you see Dr. Penpen's cameo here on the screen, but in about 24 hours, they solved a technical problem so that we could communicate with you today that I don't think's really been done across the world. And so that's the level of excellence and expertise we have. They just decided to make it happen. And so we really want to make sure we thank them and appreciate them. And all of you as parents for joining in. We're excited to have the students back. And I will close by allowing Dr. Bailey and Mr. Grimm any parting comments.
Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, I have a couple parting comments. Again, we're very excited about the kids coming back to school. We could not get to this point, though, without the close coordination with our base installation partners. They've done a remarkable job. The Medical Command, USFK, 8th Army. We're just very thankful for all of those medical partners and all of their assistance and help. So a big thank you to them. And parents, you've done remote learning with your kids since we've started. And you also have done a tremendous job putting in the time and the effort, reaching out to our schools with questions. And we just work with the best parents in the world right here at PAC West. And so thanks for all that you have done to help get the school year started. Thanks.
Mr. Grimm, while you're on, actually, there was a question that came up. Just a second to how our grab and go breakfast and lunches will continue for those kids going back into the brick and mortar in-person learning, and the opportunity for our virtual school students, not remote learning, but those assigned directly to the virtual school, to also continue to get grab and go lunches and breakfast and lunch. And so maybe just a second about how it's grab and go looks a little bit different, and how both of those groups still have opportunities.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'll try to answer those questions, and more information will be coming out from our logistics department who oversees that through the schools and will be sent home. But we're going to start out as simple as we possibly can in our lunchrooms. As we talked about, we have the barriers. We have kids that are coming into the lunchroom for the first time, and we just thought it would be easier to start the school year with some sandwiches, some other things that are easier to grab as kids are going through the cafeteria serving line, starting out with like tacos, and some of those more difficult lunches are a little bit more of a challenge. So we're going to have those type of lunches at least for the first month of school, and then we'll probably expand into some other lunch options. And then for those kids that are in virtual school, there's going to be a time sent to you where you can continue picking up lunches at 2 of our schools here at Humphreys, and I think there's a location then also at Osan and at it's here at the high school at Daegu Middle High School, and then in Osan there's also a lunch which is,
I believe, at the middle high school,
and that's also at the middle high school as well. So anyways, contact your schools if you have any questions regarding that, and look for more information.
Yeah, and of course things are going to be a little bit different, and individualized will be more of what we see as we come back. So like the grab and go lunch is kind of being pre-packaged and prepared, so there's just a kid grabbing their lunch and going. Other things like supplies, it's going to need to be that individual student supplies, water bottles versus water fountains, having their own water bottle. We're going to see those kind of things happen. Well, mask, I say that in jest because my wife shared with me a meme that was out there on Facebook where a kid had a really cool mask. It had Batman on it. It was, really nice. And he came home and he had a flash mask and he said, "Look, we traded. I have this cool mask. We don't want to do the mask swapping for whoever has the better mask. We want to keep our own mask," those kind of things. So some more individualized supplies so that we can, again, control the spread as best we can. So I think that that question was one I got. We'll answer more as we get them individually. Our schools stand ready to share more with you. We thank you for being here tonight, and we will say see you on October 5th. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Go Cougars!